Andre. Where's Andre?
He's back there giving it in.
He's coming up.
Oh, yeah, she's about to begin right now.
Chris.
Where's Gary?
Between the Miracle Man, Danny Jacobs and Sergey Derevyanchenko. I think it's one of the top fights of 2018. Of course, other two World Championship fights on the bill with Mercado against Evans, and also a rematch of one of the fights of the year between Heather Hardy and Shelley Vincent for the WBO featherweight title as well. Before we get underway and hear from the fighters, I'd like to pass over to Peter Nelson from HBO to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. I want to thank Matchroom USA, Eddie Hearn, obviously, Frank Smith, the whole team there do a fabulous job. I'm just very pleased that this fight was able to come together, as well as the co-promoter of this bout, Louis J. DeBella, Esquire, promoter, etc., old friend. And it's going to be a terrific show. We're going to have a great co-feature that'll get announced shortly. And I want to thank the fighters themselves, obviously stepping up and taking this fight. It's not the easiest fight for either guy. This is a 50-50 fight. I think both fighters know that. I think everyone knows that. The title at stake formerly belonged to Triple G. I think the winner of this fight certainly puts himself right in the middle of the sweepstakes for the winner of the Canelo Triple G fight on September the 15th. We're very excited both for the fight itself and where it leads. I also want to thank Madison Square Garden. Obviously, being back at the theater is always a great thing for us. We're extremely excited for October 27th, and we look forward to a great event. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Peter. I didn't know it was Louis Esquire. And you would have seen on social media me and Mr. DeBella going at it over the last few months and years. It's all good fun, but what he does do is do a great job for his fighters. Welcome to Tevin Farmer to the team as well. We'd like to be working with Lou as well. And this fight was made, and he pushed and pushed and pushed for Sergey, and it was a tough deal to make. It took us some time because this is high stakes. This is the highest stakes. And you know, when Danny came over to HBO, he's had a couple of good fights, Arias, of course, down at the Nassau Coliseum, and more recently against Sulecki at the Barclays Centre. But this one now is the defining moment in Danny Jacobs' career. They were what we call showcase fights. I already see him much lighter than he would when he normally starts camp. He knows that this is the defining moment of his career on October the 27th. He has one very tough fight. Before we go into the main event, we're going to talk about this great fight on the card for the WBO featherweight title, and I'm going to pass over to our co-promoter for the fight, a long-term family friend, great guy, delighted to be working on these. He's going to be showing me the ropes at the MSG. He's already told me how I've got to price the tickets, when I've got to start promoting, who's on the undercard. I don't even know if I'm going to turn up. So I'm going to pass over to our good friend Lou DeBella to introduce his fights. Thank you, Lou.
Shock of all shocks, Eddie and I did business together, which really isn't that much of a shock. And as he said, I go back with him since he was a wee lad in grammar school, literally. I've known his dad since my first days in this business 30 years ago. And I've said this before, I want to do business with every entity in boxing that allows the biggest opportunities for my fighters. And I'm thrilled that as an alumni of HBO, someone that's spent a number of years there, to be able to be involved in a fight of this excellence and this magnitude on HBO, because this is about as good as it gets. The young man to the right, I've known him since he's a kid. He's a tremendous athlete, a great fighter, a great champion, and as good a person or better person outside of the ring than he is inside of the ring. I mean, this guy is a profile in courage, and a guy that constantly gives back and is an inspiration to so many people. If you've been able to defeat cancer, you're not afraid of any man. This guy over here to my left, Sergey Derevyanchenko, is a great fighter. One of the greatest amateur middleweights who's ever fought. 400 wins as an amateur. He was in the World Series of Boxing where he dominated. He's undefeated as a pro. And he's had to sit out periods of inactivity, and he hasn't made a lot of money as a pro. For a lot of reasons, a lot of them have to do with the politics of the game. When you're as good as he is, and you're from Ukraine, and you're not delivering gazillions of dollars. You have to be orchestrated to a title opportunity, and that's what happened here. I want to acknowledge that. First of all, thank you, Peter, because you were steadfast in demanding this fight and wanting this fight, and that's one of the reasons it happened. Keith Connolly, who was involved in as manager of Danny and an advisor to Sergey. The one thing I'll say is both his fighters wanted this fight, and this fight got made, and it got made on terms that was fair to both of them. I want to thank my partners in Sergey Fight Promotions for letting me make the deal. And Eddie and I were able to get this deal done. It wasn't easy, but we got it done, and it's the right thing for boxing, and it's the right thing for the fighters. Peter said we're going to announce a co-feature shortly. It'll involve one of my fighters against a Golden Boy fighter in what I think will be a very good fight, but that announcement will come. And on this card, I'm really proud to be able to say that there's going to be a rematch of a fight that probably should have been rematched already. 2016, these ladies fought the Female Fight of the Year, according to Ring Magazine and various other pundits. It was really a female war. These two ladies are as different as they can be, but in many ways they have a lot in common. They're both survivors. They both had to overcome great adversity in their lives, and they both fight for the love of the game. And both of them have been waiting for an opportunity their whole careers to fight for a world championship. And on October 27th at the theater at Madison Square Garden, the Hulu Theater. And again, my friends at Madison Square Garden, we haven't done a lot in a long time, but it's good to see Joel and Sal and my old friends at Madison Square Garden, and it's always good to work with you guys and to have an event of this magnitude at the Garden. Shelly Vincent, been begging for this rematch, as has Heather. They both have had this lifelong dream of a world championship. Heather wants her banner up at Gleason's. Shelly wants her banner in her gym in New England. When you're a female fighter right now in America, you're fighting for more than the money, because the money's not very good. You're fighting for other reasons. You're fighting because you care about the game. You care about your legacy, and you want to be as much as you can be. And also that title allows these ladies to go out and get sponsorships and make a few dollars that isn't being adequately provided for them right now in boxing in America. So I'm thrilled that this fight is on this card. I'd like to bring up first Shelly Shalito's Way Vincent.
First of all, I want to thank Lou, Eddie, HBO for giving myself and Heather a chance to be on this card. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to shoot hoops at Madison Square Garden. Now I'm going to get to beat Heather's ass at Madison Square Garden. So, that's great. The first fight was close. I felt I won it. She felt she won it. Some people thought she won. Some people thought I won. A lot of people thought it was a draw. This time, you're going to see the old Shalito. I'm going to have more than 3 weeks to get ready. And I think it's going to be a repeat of the first fight, just non-stop punching. My hand's going to be all over Heather Hardy like she's my woman. So, that's that. But I'm not leaving without my property.
She's so charming.
A little bit. Thank you, guys.
Heather the Heat Hardy has been one of the biggest attractions in New York boxing for years. She's made a move and is a two-sport athlete. She fights also for Bellator. This is a fight that she wanted, but she wanted this fight for a world championship. And after what these ladies gave in the ring in 2016, they deserve this fight for a world championship. They're getting it. I'm thankful to everyone on this dais who helped make that possible. I'm thankful to the WBO and its president, Paco Valcarcel, for sanctioning this fight. And Heather, if you can beat Shelly, you're going to get that banner.
I'd just like to mirror what Shelly said. Thank you, Eddie, so much for having us on the show. Thank you, Lou, for fighting for women's boxing for all this time. One of the saddest things is that in 2016, me and Shelly put on the Fight of the Year, and so many people missed it. So we've been dying to do the rematch, the both of us, but kind of under the circumstance that everybody got to see, right? Like that was a bad time for women's boxing. This is a great time for women's boxing. So, yeah, I'm gonna bring home that title. Don't worry, guys. Thank you.
The training situation here involves two of the very best that New York has. My boy to the right, Mr. Rogier over here, it doesn't get better than him in the New York area, and the guy that's on the other side of the dais is the other guy who's at the top of the game in New York, Mr. Starks. And these guys are both familiar with Danny forever, and frankly, they're both familiar with Sergey forever. And they know both of these guys like the back of their hand, and it's going to be a really interesting dynamic, but make no mistake about it, Gary starts there with Sergey Derevyanchenko to win. He's not Danny's trainer come October 27th. Come October 27th, he's there singularly in the corner of Sergey Derevyanchenko to see a new champion crowned. Gary Starks, senior.
Thank you, Luke. Good afternoon. I just want to say that they're not really going to fight. They're sparring, so we guys and yeah, honestly, in reality, this is a rough situation for me and Andre because we've been with these guys since I know Danny since a little baby. I worked with him before, and now we work with Sergey, and we work with each other for different fights, and it's really rough on us, but I guess it's more rougher for the trainers because the fighters really they're not close like that, but me and Dre are close to the fighters. So for this fight to go on, it's like it's really difficult for the trainers. But I guess as you say, it is what it is, and we just have to give the best to each of our fighters. So I mean, this is going to be a fantastic fight with these two guys because it's two really great talents, So, I mean, you guys are going to see a really, really good Sergey, and you're going to see probably a great, I hope not a great Danny Jacobs. But all in real, I love you, D. This is like the Golden Glove. So, thank you.
Like I said earlier, you're a great fighter when you have 400 amateur wins, and his amateur career, Sergey's, was every bit as outstanding as Triple G's amateur career was. He's one of the great technicians in boxing. He knows how to adjust. He can pretty much do everything in a ring. And some people may be sleeping on him because they're not that familiar with him. But anyone who's familiar with him knows that this very well can be the most difficult fight of Danny Jacobs' career. I believe it's going to be the most difficult fight of Danny Jacobs' career. Sergey's had to pay a lot of dues to get to this point. Been frustrated a lot, had to sit and wait, and had to endure difficulty in supporting his family, as most fighters do when they're not getting main events and not champions. But his life is going to change on October 27th at the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden. Sergey Derevyanchenko.
Hi everyone, I'm glad to be here. This is my first big show. You'll be boxing for the first time of the HBO channel. I want to say thanks for the HBO channel for this opportunity. Thank you for my advisor Kit Connolly. Thank you Phil. Thank you for my promoter Rudy Bella. Thank you for Danny. This is good fight. Thank you.
We're going to do our talking in the ring.
Luckily, Lou, I think you've done your talking for him anyway. If I'd have known you talk more than me, I wouldn't have let you have the mic. Unbelievable. Right, well done for doing that in English as well. Very, very good, very good. I won't speak in Ukrainian today, but as all the guys have said, this is a fight that normally wouldn't take place if the spoils weren't so big. If that golden crown wasn't on the line, I think these guys wouldn't be doing it. And as tough a spot it was for Andre and the trainers and Danny and Sergey, it was also a tough spot for Keith Connolly as well, a guy who has everybody's best interests at heart, obviously extremely close to Danny. And I'm going to bring in now manager for Danny Jacobs, advisor for Sergey Derevyanchenko, to introduce Andre and his fighter, Danny Jacobs. Please, Keith Connolly.
It's good to be here. I want to thank a couple people before we start. Eddie Hearn, obviously, Danny Jacobs, promoter, giving him the opportunity to be in big events and to be basically the A-side in the spotlight. Also, obviously, Peter Nelson. Without Peter, Danny being one of the main guys on HBO wouldn't have been possible. So I want to thank Peter. And I want to thank Lou DiBella. It's been a long couple months. We don't always see eye to eye, but in the end, we both have the best interests of the fighter at heart and the sport. And that's what this fight's about, I think. But I really want to give credit to the two fighters. First of all, I sat down with Sergey and I explained to him how close I was to Danny. I've known Danny since he was about 15 or 16. Not only is he my top fighter, but he's like family to me. He's my #1 guy. Everybody knows that. I'd be disingenuous if I said anything different. I also care about Sergey. I've gotten to know him, his wife, his son over the last couple of years. So I sat down with him and explained this, and he said to me, "This is business." I understand, Keith. Just get me the best possible deal. So I laid out different scenarios for Sergey where, if we fight Danny Jacobs, this is roughly what you're going to get. We could fight an easier guy for the title, possibly Martin Murray, maybe a smaller amount of money, but a definite win. And he looked me straight in the eye and he said, "Keith, get me Danny Jacobs, get me in the spotlight. I want the HBO date, I want to be on the big stage." He could have taken the easy way out. There were maneuvers that Lou could have implemented to really avoid Danny Jacobs, get him the Martin Murray fight. He didn't want that. He wanted the toughest fight on the biggest stage. Then I sat down with Danny Jacobs. And I said, "Danny, you could fight Sergey for the title. You're going to make the same amount of money to fight Sergey in a really, really tough fight, or we can fight an average guy for the same amount of money." Danny Jacobs looked me straight in the eye, and he said, "Get me the title fight. I'll take the harder fight for the same amount of money." That doesn't really happen in boxing a lot. So I think both of these guys should get a lot of credit. I think it's going to be a tremendous fight, October 27th, and I hope to see everybody there. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. We're going to bring up now from the Danny Jacobs scene, Andre, to say a few words about your charge and also this great fight on October 27th. Andre Rosario.
Well. Can anybody say awkward? Right now, this is awkward. These two young men, my son to the right of me, my nephew to the left of me, they are fantastic athletes. And I will be the first to say that through boxing media, I was trying every angle I could for them to fight other great fighters. I tried to get Danny in with BJ Saunders. I tried to get Sergey in with the next elite in line, even shooting as hard as we could for Triple G when Triple G didn't want to fight a real middleweight and he went after Vanes Martirosyan, just so that my guys didn't have to meet in the ring. But they wanted to. They wanted to box against each other, and quite frankly, if all of you weren't here right now, it would feel like we were in the gym right now. Literally, we'd be sitting, talking, smiling, laughing, and that's due to the professionalism that they both exhibit at all times. They're gonna put on a great show. I'm not happy about it, because these are my babies, but they want to put on the show, and they're gonna put on a fantastic event. You're gonna see boxing at the elite level. This is where you'll see who the best middleweights in the world are, and may the best man win. I have to take Danny to camp and prepare him for the hardest fight that he'll probably have. This will be a harder fight than the Triple G fight because I thought we won that one, and that says everything in itself. But One thing I can guarantee you is that they are coming to put on a show. There's no animosity here. This is all about the business of boxing, and they are the consummate professionals, so you will see the best in boxing. And although I'm not looking forward to it, I'm ready for it. Thank you very much, and here we go.
Hit that like button.
Excellent, Andre. Nearly all there is to say, apart from to hear from the main man. Boxing gives us so many great memories. We meet wonderful people in boxing. I think all of us can say that. And meeting Danny Jacobs has been a wonderful experience for us and working with Keith. And I want to echo Keith's comments earlier about thanking Peter Nelson for this opportunity. What he's been able to do and we've been able to do with Danny is to put a schedule together for Danny Jacobs to box 3 times a year that other fighters just aren't getting at the moment. To allow him to finish a fight, go on his holiday, prepare back for camp, know exactly what his life entails. But he's never turned down a fight. He's never been moaning. He knows we knew what he wanted, a shot at the world title. And I'm so pleased we've been able to deliver it. And I believe on October 27th, he will become world champion at this great arena. And thank you to the MSG guys as well. It's going to be brilliant to be in there on October the 27th. And I can't wait for this place to be packed out for this guy's moment of truth, because he's a real stand-up guy. And you know, we've told the story, you know the story. Yes, he came back, he beat cancer, but that doesn't matter right now. What matters is he has an opportunity to go down in history as the IBF champion of the world in New York. And I'm so pleased he gets this opportunity. He's got a lot of work to do, but I believe the best middleweight in the world right now is Danny Jacobs, and I believe he'll prove it. Ladies and gentlemen, final member to talk at the dais, that is the former WBA middleweight champion of the world, the challenger for the IBF Middleweight World Championship on October 27th, Danny the Miracle Man Jacobs.
Salute. Brownsville.
I have a couple people I want to thank. I want to thank, obviously, Team Jacobs and everybody that's been involved in allowing this to be possible. Thank you guys very much. And I know a lot of guys have questions about why is this fight happening, but I mean, the biggest question that I ask myself is, you know, do you dare to be great? You know, and what obstacles were you allowed to get in your way to prevent that? And my answer to myself is nothing. I wouldn't allow anything. This is for the love of the sport. This is for the love of boxing. This is for the fans. This is for my dreams. He's fighting for his dreams, and we both have families that we're fighting for. So this is not a sad time. This is a time to embrace the real, true passion and the grit and what boxing really means, because, you know, we share a relationship. So if that doesn't tell you that this is for the love of the sport and that we truly desire the sport and we want to become champions for the fans. And we all have our own legacies that we want to live in life. So for the love of boxing, I look forward to October 22nd. I know it's going to be a tough challenge. Me and Sergey have damn near over 300 rounds together in sparring. I mean, he knows me, I know him. And I just think that the professionalism we carry is going to extend into that ring. But it's not going to make it a sparring match, as Andre said. This is going to be a war. It's going to be an exciting war. This man comes forward, strong, durable, and you guys know what I bring to the table. So, like I said, I thank all my team and everybody for making this possible. Thanks for the media. Thanks to IBF and everybody who gave me this opportunity. I'm gonna let you guys down, so thanks to my fans, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Thank you guys, definitely one of the classiest press conferences I've ever been to. It's going to be a great night on October 27th. Tickets go on sale on Monday. Further details dropping shortly. We're going to have a head-to-head with Shelley and Heather up here, and also Danny and Sergey just here, and then these two guys are going to go up to the top floor for some HBO filming, and then they'll all be available to the media down here. Thank you so much for coming. We look forward to a wonderful event on October 27th. Thank you very much.
Let's cheers. Get right in front. I'll get along from the side. We just need to.
Guys, let's all move to the side, please.
We gotta clear Anthony.
Yeah, I know. Guys, let's get. We need to move these chairs. Danny, how you doing? How you feeling?
Man, ready to rock and roll, brother.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, man. Great to see you. Okay.
Thank you. Turn that down.
Yeah, the cameras, please.
Guys, can we get you on?
Tim's and Adidas, that's what's up. That's New York right there, baby. Love it.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Danny?
Yeah.
Mr. Jacobs, please. No smiling, fellas. Hold on, fellas, one more. One more.
One more.
Yeah.
Yep. We're going to go straight upstairs to Chop Shop. Anthony, we're following you.
We're trying to take them straight upstairs. Huh?
Yeah, they're going for the HBO show and then they're coming back. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna get that exclusive with Jacobs when he finished doing his HBO interview. You know what I mean? We live on MRecktv. This is how we do it. You dig? We got the presser. Hold on, let me get my man Jacobs. Danny, can you let him know you on MRecktv?
MRecktv, thanks for the support always. I appreciate you.
Salute, my brother. That's my brother right there. Brownsville. You know how we do. We out here. Look, hold on. Look who we got in the building.
What's good? Y'all already know. Y'all already know what it is, man. You know what I'm saying?
Let me get on the screen with my guy. Look, and we got the red on. We didn't even talk about that.
You know
Listen.
That's just brother shit, man.
Uh-huh.
You know that's just a certain energy you have, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
You got a certain energy, man. What's understood don't need to be said, you know what I'm saying?
That's a
We
fact.
don't even talk about this. From hat to down to our feet. You know what I'm
You
saying?
already know.
Down to our feet.
This is my brother right here. This
know
just
what it is,
just in
man.
case y'all don't know, this is shot from Blue Blood Sports TV.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Subscribe to his channel. You dig? We live right now at the Danny Jacobs.
Make sure y'all
presser.
cop that music, man.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah.
that, man. Cop that
Yes,
music,
sir.
man. You know what I'm saying? Get that music, man.
Salute,
you know
man.
what I mean?
Appreciate that, King.
This where it at, man. Cop that China Black, man.
Yeah.
Get that M.Reck, man. Get that music, man. Go to
Yeah.
other music, man. Get your joints, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Go to mreckmusic.com.
Yeah, man.
Go
Come
get
on,
that
man.
Target single. Go get that Millie
That's
Jack
a
by
fact.
China Black.
Get some real
And matter of
music,
fact, go cop his merch. Blue
Yes,
Blood
sir.
Sports TV.
Yes,
Hit
sir.
him up on Instagram.
Yup.
You dig what I'm saying? Let him know your
Hit me up on
Instagram.
Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. You know
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? Inbox me, you know what I mean? We got that fresh merch, man. Show love, man.
Yes,
Make
sir.
sure y'all got that music, man. Next summer, next summer, man, we should be hearing all Reg and China Black, man.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? All throughout, especially in the city, man.
Talk
the
to
city
him.
need to show love, man.
Talk to
You
him.
know what I'm saying?
I just came from Cali. They got my shit in rotation out
Ain't
there
no way
doing
other
shows.
cities should be showing more love than this city, man.
Talk to him.
Cut
Tell
it
him.
out, man. You know what I'm saying? We need to bring it
New
back,
York,
man.
stop
New
that
York
hate.
style, man.
Get that hate out your
Fact.
blood, man. That shit is
Fact,
nasty.
man. We should be hearing this music in and out the boroughs, man, on the island, everywhere, man. Come on,
And not
man.
because it's no sympathy, because the music is dope.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact, man.
You don't want no
You know what
sympathy
I'm
because I'm
saying?
from New York. It's just
It's
dope
like,
hip
yo,
hop.
Listen, how you supporting stuff outside of the city and not supporting inside the city, man? Support the city, man.
Facts, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts,
Every
bro.
other city show love to their artists, man. Make sure you show love to your artists, man. Hold them down, man.
And hit that like button. There's a lot
Yes,
of
sir.
people viewing, and all y'all gotta do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button.
The like button.
What's
man.
going on?
It
Y'all
don't cost
been,
nothing to hit the like button.
it don't
man.
cost
It's
you
free.
nothing to hit that button,
Yeah.
hit that like button.
It's free, man.
What's
Come
going on?
Show love, man.
Show love, man. But we here
Fuck
regardless
that.
if y'all hit
Yeah,
that
y'all
like
already know
button
what it
or
is,
subscribe
man.
button.
That's a
Blue
fact.
Blood Sports TV, Shy. I got my man in here, my man B. You know what I'm saying?
Look, don't do it.
No. See, look. No. I'm not. No. What I'm saying, I'm not doing that. See, you didn't look at my last post. If you looked at my last post, he didn't look at the last post. I kept you on some ninja shit. You dig what I'm saying? See, B's on some ninja shit.
He trying to.
I don't even give out his name. You dig?
He's gonna take a step there.
His name is B Ninja. His name is B Ninja. B Ninja's in the building.
You can get ready to take a step there and realize
Right.
the cameras.
Exactly. Niggas like 80 cameras in. Where you going? B Ninja.
You on HBO, dude.
Word.
Yeah, you
Showtime. Word. Watch. He could be like, yo.
And he was standing up in front of the main camera.
Exactly. B Ninja, you on Showtime right now. We out here, man.
Service.
Yeah. Oh, look at the big fish tank. I'm gonna let y'all see the big fish tank. You dig? We live. MRecktv.
Shout out to my man M.Reck.
Oh,
Yo, M.Reck, my man wants to know when are you dropping that Mace track that you promised everybody?
Oh, talk to Mace.
We need
Hold
to
on.
know.
Hold
We
on.
need
Talk
to
to
know.
Mace right now. He gonna watch this. Yeah.
We need to know when is the Mace track coming? You
No, but
promised us
gotta
something legendary.
Direct it to Mace right now. He's gonna see this.
Mason Betha. We big fans of yours, man. We waiting for you to come back and shut the game down. Show these young boys how you ran it in the 90s. How your pen kept bad boy alive, Mason Betha. We need you to come back, Mason Betha. You promised us something legendary. You gotta deliver for my man M.Reck. Alright?
Let him know who you be.
Yo, this is Matt. Shout out to MVO, Most Valid Opinion. Catch us on Facebook. We be posting M.Reck all the time, man. We need that video, Mace. You said your pen kept bad boy alive. We looking to see that pen, Mace.
Mace, they calling you out, Mace. We on Showtime, HBO, MRecktv. They calling you out, Mace. Yo, that's my brother though. Shouts to Mace. You know what I mean? Mace, me and Mace about to get it in. We got a joint. You dig what I'm saying? It's coming soon.
We waiting, man. We waiting.
Yes, sir. We out here. We out here. Let them know who you be.
Boxing boys, man.
You know, you live on MRecktv. You know what I'm saying? Heavy on that radio, heavy on that YouTube. ForbesDVD.com. 8 million a month. Yo, look.
I got to look. All the way up. Like that'd be a bitch to clean though.
Look at the fish tank. This shit go all the way up, dude.
You gotta put the scuba gear on.
Listen. I'm gonna go back live. I'm gonna go back live in a little bit when Jacobs come back down. You did? But right now, we live on MRecktv. We at the presser for this Danny Jacobs fight. You know what I mean? Hit that like button, man. Exclusive. They don't get no more exclusive than this. Yeah, that's what they're gonna do with HBO shit. They don't get no more exclusive than this. You wanna get in this? It's live on MRecktv. Yeah. Don't do that tongue shit. I keep telling you that. Hey, stop! Don't ever say that. What's wrong with you? She bugging. I'm trying to tell you. Right at the boxing event. Ooh. We out here, G.
Stop that.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop that.